Well, welcome to the Rokani Media Football, and here we come with what we call the combined 11. Tottenham Hotspur versus Arsenal. You called for it, and obviously I'm going to really give you my thoughts about what the combined 11 bit of Arsenal and Spurs for me is going to be looking like. Good morning, it's a Sunday, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you're watching it from. A little bit of chill in my country, and hope it's the same in your country where you are watching us from. Continue to subscribe, because you know that we are left with few subscribers by the to hit 9,000, to hit 20,900 subscribers, not so. So let me check here and see how many are we left with. You understand? How many are we left with? I'm talking about subscribers. We are left with 7 subscribers to hit 20,900, right? 20,900 subscribers. You get? So let's obviously hit that. The next time I come back here, we'll be looking for 100 subscribers to hit 21,000 subscribers. So this is Rokani David, and this is the Rokani Media Football. Hope you guys are really having fun, and those going to church, safe journey, and let's see close to 300 likes. Smash on this video. Now, combined 11, you know what it means. You know, for every player that is injured, he's not considered. And for Spurs, Dog is injured, he's not injured. Maddison is injured, he's not going to be considered. And only players that are really available are going to be considered. Richarlison is back, Pedro Porro is back, and for Arsenal, they're having what we call a fully fit squad, and every player at Arsenal is okay and not injured. Now, we go to the combined 11. Starting off with the goalkeeper. Oh, the system, right? The system is going to be 4-2-3-1. I'm sorry, I made it a 4-3-3, but it's supposed to be a 4-2-3-1 system. And we obviously go with the goalkeeper first and foremost. So, the goalkeeper, Arsenal has David Raya as their first choice. Spurs have Vicario as their first choice. I tell you, I was spoiled for choice, because Vicario has gone ahead to be one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Making his debut into the Premier League, Vicario has gone ahead to show us his capabilities. He's a very good shot stopper, and his ball distribution is really great. Sweeper goalkeeping tactics, he's really good and expresses himself with the ball at his foot. His game reading is out of this world, and I tell you, Vicario has been one of the biggest highlights in the team of Tottenham Hotspur. If you ask me, some of the players that are going to be the best signings of some teams in the league, I tell you, Vicario comes in through. And when you have to look at the goalkeepers that came through, like David Raya at Arsenal, Onana at Man United, Vicario at Tottenham Hotspur, I think Vicario is one of the best performing goalkeepers in there for you. But for Arsenal, they brought in David Raya, and I tell you what, David Raya has gone ahead to obviously prove that Mikel Arteta was right to obviously get him in. 14 clean sheets so far in 28 appearances, and if he keeps a clean sheet today, David Raya will go to 15 clean sheets, equaling the number of clean sheets that Aaron Ramsdale made last season, or kept last season. So, if it was not the number of clean sheets that David Raya is going to hate to keep, you know, Vicario would have gone to take this spot. You get? But because of the clean sheets that David Raya has gone ahead to obviously keep this season, he takes the day. I tell you, he takes that role, and in goal, I'm gonna be having David Raya over Vicario, because Vicario has kept just 6 clean sheets in 32 games. You get? That is really bang average, and this is where I go with David Raya in between the stages of my combined 11. Now, the other aspect that is gonna be really very argumentative, I know about it. Arsenal fans are really gonna be argumentative about it. Ben White versus Pedro Porro. Now, Benjamin White has gone ahead to play 33 Premier League games, 4 goals and 4 assists. Pedro Porro has gone ahead to play 29 games, 1 goal and 7 assists. Both have 8 goal involvements into their season. But Ben White has gone ahead to be having a very good season for me. He has gone ahead to play on very well. And the same applies to Pedro Porro. But if you're talking about balancing both sides right, you know, the offensive and the offensive and the defensive side, this is where we are going to have a very huge argument about. I think Benjamin White struggles a lot going forward. Defensively is okay. Pedro Porro has shown us that he's that right back that you would want to have in your team. His flair is really top notch, and going forward is really right. Defensively is also good, and by the way, his final ball is really out of this world. That's why teams like Real Madrid are interested in his services of Pedro Porro, and they want to obviously sign him. So for me, I go with Pedro Porro as the right back of this team. I go with Pedro Porro onto the right back. Left back, Udogie is injured for the side of Tottenham Hotspur. That keeps him out of this contention. And I tell you, if he was fit, no Arsenal player can come close to Udogie. That is it. But Udogie is out, and let's see who is going to really come in through for Spurs. It's obviously Emerson Royal, you know, being played on the left side of the fullback, and Arsenal really having Tomiyasu for me, Jakub Kiwior, Zinchenko, Julian Timber. But I go with Tomiyasu, and we are versing Tomiyasu with Emerson Royal. On any day with that combination available, or with that pair competing for the position, I go with Tomiyasu to play as the left back for this combined 11. We go to the central defense, right-sided centre back, Van der Veen and Saliba. Guys, I don't want to explain this. Van der Veen has gone here to play very well. His first debut season has been okay at Tottenham Hotspur, but I tell you what, I go with Saliba. Right-sided centre-back, Christian Romero and Gabriel Magalhaes. I tell you, I go Gabriel Magalhaes. No even argument about that. Romero is really a very good defender, but I tell you, this defense has gone ahead to be the least considered defense or central back partnership, you know. And they've gone ahead to keep clean sheets 14 times this season. It shows you how good they've gone ahead to be. That is my back five in there for you. Spurs having 1 player, Arsenal taking 4. Now we go to the double pivot. Partey, Jorginho versus Pape Sarr. I tell you, Partey has been out for the vast majority of the season. Then Jorginho has always gone ahead to come in through and play. But I tell you, Pape Sarr has been what we call a revelation into the side of Spurs, and I go with Pape Sarr into that position. Now, Yefis Bissouma and Declan Rice. Is there any argument about that? We know the person that is supposed to be playing. That's Declan Rice into the middle. So my double pivot, it's going to be Declan Rice and Pape Sarr. James Maddison versus Odegaard. Right? Maddison versus Odegaard. Maddison has gone ahead to play 22 Premier League games, 4 goals and 7 assists. When you go to Martin Odegaard, right? Odegaard has gone ahead to play 31 games, 8 goals and 8 assists, and he's one of the players that are going to be competing for the player of the Premier League season. Odegaard, for me, takes the day and is being played as a central attacking midfielder into my team. We go to Kulusevski versus Bukayo Saka. No argument about this. I think we don't even need to argue about this. Saka goes ahead of Kulusevski because Kulusevski is really not really having some good numbers, but flair-wise, Kulusevski has a better flair, but Bukayo Saka has stats. You know, 14 goals in the Premier League and 10 plus assists in the season of the Premier League. You need to put respect onto his name and not really put Kulusevski ahead of him. Left forward, Trossard, oh my God, and Song Heung-min, because for me, at Arsenal, I know they've gone ahead to have they're going to hate to have Martinelli, whose season is really low, and Trossard, whose season is really on a high. And when you look at Trossard, I think he's going to hit to score 14 Premier League goals. Are they 15? No, they are 10, if I'm not mistaken. He's having 10 Premier League goals and 1 assist. Son Heung-min is having 15 goals and 9 assists. That is Son Heung-min for you. Timo Werner sometimes play that side, but I tell you what, I love Trossard, but let's all admit Son Heung-min is levels to this side, and I obviously get him onto the left attacking side of the midfield. Then we go to the forwards. Richarlison for Tottenham Hotspur, Gabriel Jesus and Nketiah plus Kai Havertz. No one comes close to Kai Havertz, I think. For Arsenal, it's Kai Havertz who's going to come out to represent, and for Spurs, it's Richarlison. But I think Kai Havertz, ever since when I had to play into that number 9 wall, he has gonna hate to become a revolution into that side of Tottenham, into that side of Arsenal. So that is my combined 11, and hope you're gonna really come in through and really tell me your thoughts about it. But we have to do with what we call the manager, Ange Postecoglou and Mikel Arteta. I really admit that Ange Postecoglou has gone here to come in through and put in a very huge shift into the Premier League. But I tell you, Arteta has gone ahead to turn around lots of things. 2 consecutive seasons, Arsenal is competing for the trophy. That doesn't come cheaply. It comes up with a very brilliant manager that knows exactly what he has to do. And who is that manager? That manager is none other than Mikel Arteta. For me, Mikel Arteta qualifies to be the manager of this team. Ange is going to do good, but he's 5th. Arteta is topping the Premier League table. You get? So I take Arteta as the manager of this combined 11. Now, Spurs are having only 3 players in this combined 11: Pedro Porro, Pape Sarr, and Son Heung-min. Arsenal are having David Raya, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Tomiyasu, Declan Rice, Saka, Odegaard, and Kai Havertz. It's a 3-8 split. Arsenal has 8 players in this squad, or combined 11. Now go into the comment section and tell me, who do you get into this team, or who do you get out, and who do you think I lied about according to you? But I'll be waiting for your reactions into the comment section below. This has been the combined 11 of the day, and I tell you what, we are here waiting to see what your reactions are really gonna be. In here, go to church and say a prayer for the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David is my name. I'm out.